Yo, it's your boy Tulshi, and welcome to a very chilly studio here in Ibiza, where I've been zenning out a little bit, and I want to share with you what I've been up to, because the last few days I've been getting to know this box here, the Duo X by Mod Devices, and inside of it I've been able to construct what I'm dubbing the Ambient Pedalboard #1, which is kind of simple on the face of it, but also kind of complex. I'm running through it my Swarsangam here, an Indian instrument that just sounds incredible, and the sounds that are coming out of this are phenomenal. So I want to show you what's going on here and take you on a little trip inside the Duo X. Sound good? Let's get stuck in. Alright, welcome to the back of the studio, what I like to call my experimentation station. And I want to give you a little rundown of what exactly is going on back here, because honestly it's pretty simple. Up top we have the Swarsangam, this incredible Swarmandal / tempura combo that I picked up from the famous Ricky Ram in New Delhi, the store where the Beatles infamously bought their sitars, and the likes of Anushka Shankar continue to get their sitars made. But this is something that I didn't know about until I was there. I went to visit out of fandom, and well, I discovered this guy, brought it home after a real knuckle-biting ride on the plane and being forced to put it in the hold. But it survived, and here we are, and I don't really like taking it many places. But this is the reason for this little rig. I wanted to, as beautiful as it sounds on its own, I wanted to experiment with some effects. So it is mic'd up with a single Beyerdynamic MC930 small diaphragm condenser mic. I love these mics. I've got a stereo pair of them and they sound great on loads of things. And that mic's running into this little Midas DM12, which really, I'm afraid to say, is not doing a lot right now. The EQ is basically flat. I have the aux send going pre-fader to the Duo X, and that's all it's being used for. It's being used to power the mic and to get signal to the Duo X. That's it. I can let you hear what that dry sound of the Swarsangam sounds like. Stunning, right? But it sounds even more incredible when it's going through some effects. I mean, delays make everything better, right? So inside the Duo X, there's a three-way split. There's 3 parallel signal chains going on. Maybe you can even see it here, actually. The first one is just a compressor into a plate reverb. The second is a chorus flanger and 2 delays, a left and a right delay, set really long. And that's going into a shimmer. I don't even think it's doing any pitching, it's just for the tails for a big long verb. And the third split is a tape delay. So, and then all of that comes back together into another tape delay for washing it all out at the end. Now that sounds like this. Okay, so the first chain with the plate reverb only. This is basically my dry signal. This is my dry signal, you know, this clean, simple, it's for performing. And then we can introduce the long delays. And in fact, I'll take out the first chain, the plate chain, so we can hear that on its own. And if you don't have headphones on, now would be a good time to go get them. And then the third, which we'll play on its own, the third split is the tape delay, which is then going into an auto panner, and then, well, if I got it going into something else, and then it's also going into a reverb. So more verb, more delays. Let's put a little blend of all three in now. Super noisy, watch. You can really hear the shimmer going there too, huh? And then when I'm finished, I can wash it all into another echo. Trippy. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, guys. We're going deep. All right, let's go deep though. Let's jump inside the computer and look at exactly what's going on. Okay, so here we are inside of the computer, and we're looking at my first ambient mega board. I've built other ambient boards, but this has been the first one that I felt worth deeming a mega board, because it basically encapsulates the kind of thing that I would do with chains and racks inside of Ableton, and the way my brain thinks anyway. So if you're not familiar with the Mod Duo system, we enter on the left and we exit on the right. And in this instance, we start very simply by coming in with a stereo gain, mini gain knob, which is so cool. These little guys are super cool. They give you a little readout and a little input gain. Now, tomorrow I'm taking this Mod Duo out to do my hipster playing on a beach thing for Instagram, and I'll be feeding this pedal board with a stereo mic from a Tascam field recorder, which is why I'm starting with a stereo gain knob. But for today, obviously we're feeding it with a single small diaphragm condenser, so I've just split that signal to both the left and right inputs of this gain knob. Then I'm feeding into a simple stereo dynamic pedal, and I have to say the initial idea for this board came from Chords of Orion video, the ambient guitar channel. Shout out to that dude, he's a legend and has some great advice. I tried different compressors on the input here and combining different ones, and you know what, when I saw him using this stereo dynamic pedal, I decided to hell with it, and I tried it and it sounded just as good as anything else I'd come up with, because I didn't actually realize that he had done videos on the Duo X until I went looking, and was pleasantly surprised to see he had. So this board enters on the left and it exits here, and in between there are three splits. Now, somewhat confusingly, or not three splits, but there are three parallel signal paths. Now, somewhat confusingly, on my Mod Duo, the first knob is assigned to the input, the volume input of chain 1. Knob number 2 is assigned to the input volume of chain 3 here, and knob 3 is assigned to the volume knob input to chain 2. Now, the reason for that is because in my head, the knobs need to be assigned in terms of complexity or dirtiness, and so This is the cleanest, followed by the second cleanest, followed by the least clean path. And that to me just makes sense. I'm going to, and probably while I'm performing, I'll start with this one. I'll then bring in this nice echo path and then finish it with this crunchy, nasty tape delay path. And then these three parallel signal flows reunite here at another GAFA delay before exiting the board. Now, something else to take note of is that these two wet effect chains, if you will, are combined here in this little mini mixer so that I can get a nice blend of these two before reuniting them with my nice kind of studio signal, if you will, that goes through this one. So what is this one at the top? Well, it is just simply a plate reverb. We come out of the compressor, we go into a volume knob that allows me to then send, and I'll just do little mouth clicks to demonstrate. Oh, hold on. There we go. And yeah, having the volume knob here as opposed to at the end allows me to send into the verb, then turn it down and allow the decay to die out. If I had the volume knob here, I would be killing the sound of the reverb tail when I turn down the volume knob, and well, I'd much rather send into it. Think of this like a send, basically. And dry again. And then this, I'm going to jump to the bottom here. This one here, which was, again, came from a Chords of Orion video. He was using this Guitarix off of a chorus flanger and using it to feed several Bolly delays. But what I love, what I didn't realise about this Guitarix until I watched his video was just how it could go so slow, which is what I was looking for, and I couldn't find one of the other delay pedals to do it just the same way. But this one is set to 24 BPM and half note intervals, and it's coming out of the left side of the chorus flanger. And then we have this guy, which is set to 33.19 BPM, and it's running half note triplet intervals. And you know, these figures are arbitrary. I'm not playing it to a click. I just want them long, and I want the left side and the right side to be different so that they trip off each other. And maybe we should just listen to what that on its own sounds like. So I'll make sure that these are both down, and I'll turn up this third split. And it's kind of nice because I've not got these full wet. These are only about 75% wet. So some of that feeds through, hits the Shiro verb, this shimmer reverb, and triggers it. And then we start to get the delay lines from the two Guitarixes also kick in and feed into the shimmer. And the shimmer, I don't have set to do any pitching. I've just got it set to the neutral position. So it's taking the signal that is fed into it and just extending it and shimmering it out at the pitch that it comes in at. And again, I've got the mix here set to, I don't know, 60%, 65% or something like that, because I want to let some of those nice delays tap through to the outro, to the other end of the board. The tone's nice and bright, the low cut's up a bit, and the early tail's also quite high, but that just sounds great. Let me put some the Swarsangam through that. Super cool. And if I just play that with also the dry studio channel, what I like to call it. And that's just super cool because this first chain just bolsters everything together and holds it all together as this guy trips out behind. Now I'm just going to solo up this chain here, which has the GAFA delay, the auto panner, and then another reverb, this time a slap chamber. I'm a big fan of chamber sounds and how kind of moody they sound, and this is definitely like a moody little chain here. There's not many things for sale in the Mod Duo pedal store, but I have to say the Shiro verb and the GAFA delay, I think like $12 a piece. I mean, damn, they're worth it. And by the way, this is not a paid sponsorship, paid promotion for Mod Duo. I just love this device and thought it was not shown enough on here. So that's what I'm doing. Let's check out the tape delay on its own. And then my thinking was, that's nice, but it'd be nice to get that moving around a little bit more. Also so that it gets out of the way of the other two signals. So I introduced an auto panner with a really slow rate and a medium high depth. And it sounds like this. You can hear it just moving around a little bit. And then again, I wanted to wash that out a bit. So I introduced some, not all the way wet, just a little bit of wet from the slap chamber. Then all together. And then if I want to, at the end I have this, I've got this GAFA delay where everything reunites again, and this mix knob is assigned to a knob on the Duo X, and I can just wash everything out. So watch that mix knob as I wash everything out here for an outro. So fun. Sorry, I can't help myself. All right, so that's that pretty much. Yeah, shout out to Chords of Orion for giving me the little initial bit of inspiration for this board. And I hope some of you have some fun. If you've got a Duo X out there, let me know what you've been up to and some of your tips. Maybe you see something that I've done here that you think I could have done better, or maybe I've inspired you to do something. Let me know down below. And until then, happy zoning out and ambienting. Yeah, I'm coining that word, that's right, ambienting. And until then, I'll leave you with this little jam. Peace.